Modern medication did not work for me. Modern medication did not work for me. Modern medication did not work for me. Modern medication.
Hey, welcome to Mercy TV, your source for news and information on medical cannabis as the issue unfolds here in Oregon, across America, and around the world. Greetings, my name is Perry, and along with Sunny and PK, we'll be hosting this segment of Mercy TV.
Please get your cannabis connection at your local dispensary.
That's right, your Oregon Cannabis Connection, available at places near you. Visit occnewspaper.com to find out the nearest location.
Well, they're really good on all the reports on anything doing with good, all these. Keith is so in depth.
Well, it's not just the news stories, not just the information about what's happening legislatively, which is very important, especially with these new rules coming in and all the changes by the folks there with them, but recipes and grow tips information, and other things which are last forever, so to speak,
Well, and if that's what you're looking for, if you're looking for something to cook with, you can find every month has new recipes in the back of the issue.
Right. So
We do have old issues if you want those recipes.
yeah, and you can again visit their website for archived digital copies to read through and get the information as well there.
So, we always like to say hi to the people in the hospital.
Yep.
Because there's not very many people talking to the people in the hospital about cannabis. And cannabis would be good to help the people in the hospital.
Oh, absolutely. Healthcare facilities, a whole host of others.
Well, and the hospitals and places, those people have been through so many treatments and stuff that cannabis would help them with all of the problems that they're dealing with right now. Cannabis would help them, but most of them are scared. They're scared about cannabis because they've been feared into not using cannabis for so long, and now they think cannabis is not good medicine, and here all these years now, and here we are trying to reverse that.
Wasn't there a study about old timers and how cannabis is beneficial to those patients?
The top Alzheimer's doctor in the U.S., I believe.
Right. Well, the Alzheimer's doctor has said already that cannabis is the only thing that keeps itself protected, that keeps us protected from Alzheimer's. So if you don't want to have Alzheimer's, you're going to have cannabis in your system if you have the Alzheimer's gene.
And you don't have to smoke the cannabis.
No, cannabis does not have to be smoked. A lot of people, mainly like we was talking to these people this week about all the arthritises, and rubbing it into their places that they're hurting. So just use those oils and rub it into your areas of treatment, All
right. This is a topical application of cannabis in a form commonly referred to as oil based. However, it should be noted that in this case, it's organic oil. It's not the same process where petroleum-based oil like butane or something is used. In the case this manner, it's olive oil or something of that nature. Apple seed oil, grapeseed oil, coconut. Folks this is the same basic process when folks are making butter, can of butter as well.
Right. And these things will allow your body to absorb the cannabinoids. And those cannabinoids will work with your system, which our system is a cannabinoid system.
Right.
And that's what it's taken all these years for our scientists to get to. Oh yeah, our bodies are cannabinoid systems. Well, now that's why we need these cannabinoids.
Well, we're getting more doctors talking about it. Unfortunately, there's still cannabis prohibition in place, which is restricting any studies to be done, much less for the knowledge from those studies, no matter where they come from, to be applied. We've still got, kind of a denial of cannabis as medicine, usually due to special interests. But unfortunately for we the people, one of the biggest special interests is the government agencies, which profit from the war by conducting it, by being involved in it. And chief among these agencies is, of course, the DEA, the Drug Enforcement Administration. And sadly, them at the, as among other organizations, the Drug Czar's office, a couple of other, NIDA is one that's not our friend, and so forth. But they keep pumping out the reefer madness, quote unquote, research and information. The latest out of the DEA is that grow houses or grow places in Colorado are becoming just as bad as meth houses. And they're citing the same circumstances, that there's an aroma, it causes trouble, there's all kinds of traffic of bad people, and all these other things that would just, pure reefer madness, And we'll try to get the article posted up on the Mercy website, or at least give you links to it. But the important thing to read in there was Paul Armentano of NORML, the National Organization for the Reform of Marijuana Laws, response to the article, where he referred to the DEA as flat earth believers and this reefer madness stuff, that the smelling of growing marijuana is just as bad as cooking meth. It's a biohazard, and implying what God only knows, that little children are going to get addicted or even die from smelling growing marijuana or some other nonsense like that. No telling. It's truly flat earth mentality, just like prohibition itself, which continues to maintain that cannabis kills and has no medical value. Both of which, statements of which, would get you laughed off of any stage or podium or,
right,
or medium that you tried to spout that nonsense through.
Well, and in this day of age, especially when the people that we have found out that have benefited so much from the cannabis.
That's criminal to deny, to ignore these people here.
And because some of those people that benefited didn't benefit from nothing else.
Right.
So we have so many extremes on both ends here that it's really, you just have to, that's why if you have any questions, please give us a call. You can give us a call here at 363-4588 at the office number, or 588-6444 at the live number tonight.
Right on.
And any way you want, well, because a lot of people, not sure what they want to ask right now.
Uh-huh.
So if you figure out what you want to ask later, you can call us later.
Right.
So
on the office number, of course, you can always visit us on the web at mercycenters.org.
And or get a hold of us on the website.
Right. Through there, you can send us an email. We have a link to it at the top there. And certainly, if you can't find exactly what you're looking for, if you still have questions and so forth, do send us an email. Cruise and check out the bulletin boards, where a lot of folks are posting their information, usually with resources, other information for folks.
Well, we know there's a lot of patients hurting right now.
Yeah, oh yeah.
There's
looking for growers because
right,
they all had to quit because of the changes to the law.
A lot of patients looking for growers, and yes, sir.
So I wrote a testimony with a dear friend, a lawyer, Green Business Law, locally here. We found that the state government is violating our state constitution in Section 20. equals of privileges and immunity to citizens. No law shall be passed granting to any citizen or class of citizens privileges or immunities which, upon the same terms, shall not equally belong to all citizens. This is what the OMA went into in that. I finally, after a few months, now I sent this off to her on the 3rd of May. On the 27th, which is a couple months down the road, she responds to me. But she says, get in touch with your legislature.
Okay. Sound advice.
Yeah.
And everybody should get in touch with their legislator. You find out how your representative voted on the issue, and you vote accordingly. Also, check out your county commissioners, your city council people, also your federal representatives, and yeah, even check out the presidential candidates and vote accordingly. That's past time that we've got cannabis, people that don't hate cannabis involved, particularly watching over the laws that we passed,
It's so important. Well, what it comes down to is a health issue now. We got a bunch of people getting healthy, and like we're finding out, it really helps a lot of people. Oh, the Alzheimer's. Mm-hmm. I bet the Alzheimer's would be the first in line.
Right. Well, I bet that who's ever out there making the, horrendous narcotics that they're currently using with Alzheimer's patients is not too thrilled about this cannabis alternative.
Right.
We went through that when we got PTSD added to the list of qualifying conditions. We had to fight uphill against big pharma and these, positively corrosive things that they were giving these poor suffering soldiers and other folks, firefighters, police officers, first responders, all kinds of folks that end up being involved with traumatic situations and carrying the scars for the rest of their lives. And so in going through that, we ran up against a number of things that Big Pharma has been cranking out that not only don't do what they're supposed to do, they don't help these folks. They're worse for them than the illness that they've got. They, like I said, it's just positively corrosive. It hurts the folks in a permanent way.
Side effects.
And not just the side effects. I mean, it's just its single effect seems to be to harm these folks, if not kill them. And I guess that's one way to stop them from having any issues with PTSD. But it's not a good way, and it certainly doesn't work as well as cannabis. But there, again, we've got another case of that company funding the war on medical cannabis and keeping it prohibited.
And that's terrible, especially when we know who those people are that we're fighting that war against.
Right,
I mean, bro, that is terrible. And what we got going on is we need a lot of people out there that are suffering out there today, in those hospitals, those patients.
Yep.
And, they're all suffering, they're all running around, they're all trying to do their best with the cannabis. Oh yeah, now they're trying to grow, and it's growing season. Oh yeah, and they're running into these problems you're talking about. They're all running in, these are the kinds of things that...
It's ridiculous for the state for asking the $200 for a grow site.
Right.
It was ridiculous for the $50, but...
Yeah, absolutely. And now, they're imposing this grow charge to have a grow site at a place other than your residence, which is vital for folks in care facilities. They can't have their garden there. They've got to have a grow site. And so after going through all the trouble of paying for the rent, having a place that they have to somehow get to, mostly in cases where they're disabled, to wheelchair out to the...
Bradley Steinman's on the line.
Oh, excellent. Okay, go ahead, Bradley.
Hey, what's going on, everybody?
Hey, how are you doing?
Good.
I'm good. Hey, so I heard that the first lab got licensed. Have you guys heard that?
Not yet.
Which
Yeah.
one was it, do you know?
It was a laboratory in Colorado, but they published it in the Oregon Cannabis Connection online.
Oh, cool.
It's like
Okay.
the first laboratory accredited anywhere in the country for like the new ISO standards.
Whoa. Hey, that's great.
Do you think that they're going to have that ready in time here in Oregon for the October, start of recreational?
It'll be
It'll be a bottleneck.
no, yeah. It'll be interesting to see. I think we've seen that the state has too many prohibitionists involved, and so a working thing is not what all the folks want to see, unfortunately.
Yeah.
So,
Right on. Well, thank you guys. Hope you have a great show and a great weekend.
excellent. Well, thanks for
Thank
calling
you.
in, Bradley.
You have
Appreciate
a
the
good
update there.
weekend
I love
too.
you guys. Bye-bye.
See you, guy. Take
Bye-bye.
care. I think next legislative session, everybody needs to make sure that the representatives are there, are going to see to it that our people are there when we face another set of bills, many of which I'm sure will make it even harder, even more ridiculous restrictions.
Right.
And I shudder to mention any of them, lest they pick them up and do these nonsensical things, things that they're doing to the doctors, things that they're doing to the caregivers, the growers. They've already put this big fee, this penalty on these folks for having a grow site, so they had to stop doing it. Then they made everybody who has a more than one grow at an address got to fill out all these reports and do all these things, that's under the threat of, and if you make any mistake, these huge, horrific, crippling fines and everything. It's just meant to, drive people out of the program, to cripple the program.
Right. These are the things we're trying to get patients to work together and help and support. And,
Right.
it's ridiculous because we know cannabis is good medicine, and there's a lot of people out there getting, relief from it.
Right. But we've
So-
got these.
Call your representative. Tell them that cannabis is a medicine, and you should support the process.
Absolutely. Contact your representatives and let them know that cannabis is medicine, it's safe, effective medicine, and these people should have access to it. And as we voted in OMA in '98, we want the government, particularly at the state and local levels, to stop wasting money and funds and resources and everything.
Definitely.
Police forces that should be protecting little children from the real monsters out there on medical cannabis. So make sure real medical cannabis law reform happens by, first registering and voting smart and making sure those legislators are there when it comes time to, put OMA back to where it should be, reduce these fees, open up the qualifying conditions process, to hell with these freaking restrictions and making everybody weigh every single plant and account for every single leaf. That's ridiculous.
Well, they just want everybody to work.
Well, they want to chase people out of the program. They want
Right.
them to
Well,
quit.
that's what it is. They're working them.
Oh, yeah, definitely, yeah.
They have no reason for it. There's no good sense of it.
No. Like I said, it's prohibitionists are running the program, and it's the way it's always been. For 10 years now, more, almost 20 years of the medical cannabis program, it's been an uphill fight. The Advisory Committee on Medical Marijuana has not been able to get a single proposition passed and implemented.
Well, then we're talking about this, and I think about the calls we got from back east, and I don't know, we're so much farther back than back east, so I guess,
Well, Arkansas, we've heard contacts from Maryland, of course. Pennsylvania recently put forth a law. Ohio.
It's another 24th state to have medical marijuana.
So we've gotten contacts from folks back east there, as well as the other states, on the cannabis issue. We've set up web pages for it, and folks are encouraged to visit and leave a note or send us an email, particularly to update it. If there's any resources we can list there to help the folks currently trying to implement their programs.
Well, that's, we're patients helping patients. And
Absolutely.
That's, cannabis is the best medicine. And everybody that we've ran into has said, cannabis has done so good for them.
Yeah, we've just heard miracle story after miracle. On occasion, we've heard that it wasn't as effective as they hoped. In some cases, did nothing. But we've yet to hear how somebody died from it or was permanently impaired or scarred for life in any way.
Very good. Way more good stories than bad stories.
So it's well worth the risks. Even the still stigma that goes with it of being a marijuana addict or user.
Well, now, see, that's where all the people that I talked to earlier, they were so afraid they were going to get addicted if they tried it.
Right.
Well, now, if you get addicted, you're not going to try it. Or if you try it, you're not going to get addicted once.
Well, the truth of the matter is that conducted under scientific auspices, it turns out that cannabis is less addictive on the addictive index scale than caffeine. It has, less of a withdrawal as measured in, anxiety and blood pressure and all these other things. So, boom, there goes another myth, down the drain.
There you have it. There you have it.
So, it's the war is wrong. We have to stop the war. We need to register, vote, and get everybody we know to do so also to accomplish this. So please, let's do that. We also need to get everybody who needs to, get them with the program.
Well, and there's a lot of people out there that haven't tried cannabis because of the fear. And if you have those nausea and those sleeping and all those issues, can't eat, can't sleep, can't, the pain and can't take nothing because of the bad livers and stomachs, cannabis might be the thing they need.
Yeah, the cycle of no life there, the one where you're, you don't eat well, you don't sleep well, and because of that alone, you get into this vicious cycle of going tired through the day and not sleeping well at night at any rate, and it affects your eating and behavior and other things. So folks have found that, and it's all due to these, not just the medications, but the side effects, really. The side effects and then medication for the side effects from them, and a vicious cycle there. So it breaks that cycle, and folks are able to have, especially when we're educated, we get folks together, know what they're doing. We particularly help folks to get the right dosage, the right methodology, the right modality of taking it there, so that they can consume it without getting loopy, without losing control, and have productive days, and then apply the really concentrated stuff at night and get a good night's sleep without losing a liver or something in the process here.
Quality of life.
Exactly. Yeah.
Well, and these are the things that we're trying to teach everybody and let everybody know that cannabis is good medicine, not to be fearful, and not to listen to this reefer madness.
Yeah,
I mean, it's
going on.
Still going on.
Well, and it's doubled. It's amplified now. Gosh, I hope it's because we're backing them in the corner. It's the last days of it. But we're, when we get this pushback on medical cannabis at this time, Washington State's going through the same thing. And it just seems to get more encroached and more entrenched even. So we got to do something about it. We got to do it together though to accomplish that. So as I said, folks, get involved, get organized, get together.
When you bring up Washington, they're having Seattle Hemp Fest. Everybody needs to support Seattle Hemp Fest. They did everything against them, so everybody that can support Seattle Hemp Fest needs to support Seattle Hemp Fest.
Right, and we should also let folks know about the Cannabis Expo happening up at
Expo Center.
The Expo Center north of Portland, and I believe it starts at 10 tomorrow. Folks seeing this after, or can visit our website, mercycenters.org. Well, we'll have more information about that event for you. But it's just an example of the kind of resources that are being made available for the cannabis community. In some cases, some tools that folks can use. They have particular resources that you can use in the oil, in the baking processes, in the growing cycles. Some of them have basic information like we provide, and would be good for someone who just wants some general knowledge. They're not, some folks are very specific about a strain that they've heard that gives them, the particular, it's good for their particular condition or their symptoms that they're going through. But it requires particular growing styles and modalities. It has to be indoors. It needs the soil versus the, different other things that folks can use to growing it and stuff. So these are the things we're here for at Mercy Center.
And if you have any questions, please give us a call or
Right.
come by. We're here on Friday nights.
Absolutely. So come on down, see the show from our studio audience there. 575 Trade Street. We're on 7 p.m. Friday. Beautiful downtown Salem. Visit our website again, mercycenters.org, for more about. Click on the Mercy TV link, of course. And while you're there, click on the donate button and check out how you can help out here at Mercy Center.
And thanks to all of our volunteers.
Yep.
Thank you.
And don't forget, later here on Channel 23, you can see PK's My Garden, where you get more information about things that are happening in the grow world, and little tidbits about the garden there. PK's taken care of.
And pick up your Cannabis Connection, and even online.
Also, visit agent420.biz, your cannabis insurance specialists there. Right here in, again, beautiful downtown Salem, covering the whole Willamette area, and indeed the whole state of Oregon, I believe. So check them out, agent420.biz. Well, thanks for visiting. Many thanks to our friends here at CCTV helping us put it on. Lance, Phil in the control room, Charles in the production area helping it get put together out in the digital world and pushed up to our YouTube account. PK, thanks for helping out. Sonny.
Perry, thank you.
And thanks for Mike and Shauna Lucas.
Amen.
Amen.
We'll see you guys next time on Mercy TV. Don't forget, bring someone along. Bring a friend. Bring an enemy. What the heck? What have we got to lose? See you next time.
You want to say anything before I turn it off, Glenn?
Yes, good night.
Good night. God bless you all, every single one of you.